Hello and welcome to VTuber into D&D. Enjoy the video. Hello and welcome. Today we are going to do a D&D Beyond thing where I build VTubers and I build them like how they are in like real life, supposedly. So essentially what I'm going to do is I pick a VTuber and then I will, if I know that VTuber well, I will just make the class or build it here, or if I don't know that VTuber well, I will watch said VTuber and then make a build out of them. But have you ever wanted to play as your favorite VTuber, but you can't find a build guide on them? Well, that's what I'm going to do today. In this series. So, if you didn't see on Twitter, or in the title of this video, we're going to be doing Project Melody. I'm familiar with, I've seen Project Melody. I actually watched some of her streams. So, we're just going to hop into it and create the character. And it just so happens to be that Project Melody is going to be our 69th character. So, we're going to do start build, and I'll take this like step to step through this. So, don't worry if like you don't know anything about D&D. I'll help us through. I'll help you through. We'll go. Project Melody. Project Melody. Boom. Spelling. There we go. Okay, so we're not going to do homebrew, but we are going to want. I usually just turn this on for helping. So, milestone. That's honestly up to your DM. Fixed, kind of up to your DM too. If you play D&D, I tend to do manual, just because it gives me more overallness, I should say. I could get higher HP than the default, but sorry about my cough. I'm getting over a cold, but let's go. Using government, outside top public. And I'll post the build in the description of the video too, just so you guys can see it. But first, we're gonna pick a race, and out of all the races, half elf, half elf, elf, half elf. There we go. It's gonna be ours. And we're not going to change much right here for now. We're going to pick it, and then we're going to move on, essentially. Alright, so what do we want from the build? Project Melody is, well, Project Melody. If you haven't seen her streams, how do you say this without getting demonetized? Spicy VTuber. That's how I should say this. Spicy VTuber. So, we are gonna go and, let's see. I'm gonna move up here so you guys can actually see. Because there will be stuff down here. So our first order of business we want this build to be able to seduce people easily and persuade them, but we also want it to have some form of combat versatility, whether that be in sneak attack from rogue or anything else. But first, what we're going to do is pick one level of rogue. Now, ultimately, we will want 3 levels of ranger in here, but first, overall, rogue. And if you're still at level 3 campaigns, you'll want to start like this. As for me, I'll go here, and I'll explain what I'm doing. So, under ranger, we have the archetypes, which is like the subclass, you could say. You have the main class, and then you have the subclass. For the ranger, we want specifically the Fey Wanderer, which will give us, where is it? Here. Fey Wanderer is, where is it? Here. That's what we want. It will allow us to add our wisdom modifier to our charisma checks, which means we can get really broken with this. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. You're going to have proficiency in everything. So pick whichever one you want. I picked persuasion. It doesn't necessarily have to be that one, but it can be if you want it to. And then we will go back up to here. Now, you could stick with the Nature Explorer. It does give you all these. You can pause it if you want to. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is go in here and do Depth Explorer. And I'm also going to do Favorite Foe. Depth Explorer will give me 2 languages and a skill that I can get expertise in. So right off the bat, essentially, off of level 1, you can already have expertise in something. We're going to do perception for that one. So you already have expertise, which is nice. You can pick the 2 languages based off of your campaign. I usually go Elvish, but I'm already an elf, so we don't need that. But what we can do is Draconic and Dwarvish. Fighting style, totally up to you. You technically don't even need this, but you should. I will do archery, because if you're playing a campaign that allows guns, that can get busted really, really fast. Essentially, archery will give you a +2 with any ranged weapon. +2 bonus to attack rolls you make with it, which overall can be really busted. We will also want to look through here, and we're done. We only need 3 levels of Ranger, because we only need one thing, the Fey Wanderer. Now, you could do Primal Awareness. That does work. And I suggest you do the additional feats too. It will not hurt you at all to have additional features. It would not hurt you at all to have the additional features. So, as you see down here, we already have a lot of stuff, which might look like a lot, but it's not even close. So, boom, level 3. Technically level 4. We chose Rogue because this will give us the most ability to choose what we want. So we already have skills and expertise at level 1. That's why we choose Rogue, because it will give us better stuff. It'll give us a good amount of stuff. Skill versatility back over at the Elf. Basically, pick what you want. It doesn't really matter. Because our next class we're going to do is Bard. Now, you can do this in any way you want. I suggest you do Rogue then Ranger then Bard, like I'm doing. Or, what you can do is you can bump up the Rogue and then go Bard. Or anyway, what I'm going to do, or how I would play this, is 1 level Rogue to get the proficiency and that stuff, and then the 3 levels of Ranger, and then we want the 2 levels of Bard, specifically for Jack of all trades. Now, if you don't know what Jack of all trades is, it will essentially give you half of your proficiency bonus if you don't have proficiency in any skill. Starting at 2nd level, you can add half your proficiency bonus, rounding down to any ability check that doesn't already include your proficiency. That means, even if we don't choose athletics, we'll have a half proficiency in athletics. There's no way we don't want to grab that. So, we have the Rogue. What we want to do is, what I want to do is bump this up. We have our Rogue skills, grab those. What you might want to do is, depending on your campaign, or how do you want to play, do you want to instantly be able to charm everyone? Good. You're already pretty much done. Levels, this is really broken. So, we go here. We're done with Ranger. We don't really have to open that up. You can choose spells, but that's up to you, totally. Up to you. So, I'm gonna go up here and choose my other skills. Deception, Performance, Intimidation. Those are all charisma based. Which, if you remember, we have the Otherworldly Glamour, which is our Wisdom plus Charisma plus Proficiency bonus. So, we have that. And when we want, basically, it's up to you now, what you want to do. I would suggest you do Insight or Investigation or Stealth. We can grab here. We can go down here and grab our skill from here. It can be any skill. Let's do Investigation. Investigation, yeah. Musical instrument, up to you. If you want to capture the Projekt Melody vibe, I would say probably a lute, which is not the closest thing to a guitar you're gonna get to, except for the viol, the viol. So either one of those will work. Any one of these will really work, honestly. It's totally up to you. Now we level up. we're going to level up Rogue to level 3. Because at level 2, the only thing we get is counter action. Now here is the hard part. With level 3 Rogue, we have multiple options on how we want to do this. So I'm going to leave that at level 3 for now. You have sneak attack, and the Rogue sneak attack for level 3 is 2d8. Or 2d6, sorry. 2d6. But from 5 to 6. When you're doing this, you want 1 Rogue, 3 Ranger, and 6 Bard. You could do the 2 or 3 Rogue, but I would say 6 Bard. For our subclass, we want to do the Eloquence. Because with this, at level 6, we get both of these. So, you gain the ability to speak to your intelligent. You gain the ability to make your speech intelligible to any creature. Essentially, no matter where you are in the world, they can understand you. It's basically a helm of communication, I believe is what it's called. Helm of comprehending language. That's what it's called. Helm of comprehending language. And look at this. You get expertise. We're going to do deception and intimidation. And this, we'll worry about that later. So, it's technically at level 12 right now. What do you want to do? Bump this up to level 11. Why? Rogue, level 11, you get reliable talent. This does not require anything. This does not really require any sort of time limit. It doesn't say you only have 3 of these per day. You can do this anytime you make a skill check. Whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can cheat a 20. You can cheat a roll of a 9 or lower as a 10. Meaning, besides critical fails, or besides not ones, you honestly decide how you want to do that. Because technically, you can say, even though you rolled a nat 1, you still go up to a 10. Or you rolled a nat 1, a nat 1's a nat 1, you critically fail. Up to you, how do you want to do that? Up to you and your DM. But that's why we want that. We have reliable talent mixed with jack of all trades. You have your proficiency bonus. You have your proficiency bonus, but you have your proficiency in everything. No matter what you roll with this, no matter what you roll, reliable talent will always work now. Because you have your proficiency bonus. Any skill that you have that has your proficiency bonus, ability check, sorry. So, this works together. Ability check that doesn't already have it, boom, you have proficiency. Even though you don't have full proficiency, you have half proficiency. And proficiency is still proficiency. So you can still do this. It's amazing. For our expertise here, investigation, and stealth. Or you can do something else. Yeah, entirely. Because we do have the half elf. And that's completely up to you. we don't need anything from here. We can grab an insight if we want to. We can grab Alcon if we want to. We can grab anything we want from here. It will not impact our ability for anything. We already have what we want. Language is completely up to you. This, I will go over this in a minute. This is all done. This is pretty much filled out besides that, and I'll get to that in a minute. In here. Now, what we can do for this is we can go swashbuckler. That would be good. We get fancy footwork. So, during your turn, if you make a melee attack against a creature, that creature can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn. Alrighty, that's pretty good. But we also have this, which is two really good things in itself. You can give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your charisma. By the end of this, our charisma should equal 20. So it will be a +5. So our dex might not be good, but we'll compensate for this. Or with this. We have this, which is you can make a persuasion check. Consult it against the creature's intelligence check. The creature must be able to hear you. It does not say understand you. It just says, oh no, it does actually. Sorry. Creature must be able to hear you, and the two of you must share a language. Bard, universal speech. You gain the ability to make your speech intelligible to any creature. Choose one or more creatures within 60 feet of you, up to your charisma modifier. The chosen creature can magically understand you, regardless of the language you speak. Basically, we bypass this rule with a Bard ability. I do believe this is an action. Yeah, it does. That's an action. So, preferably what you want to do is before combat, talk to the creature that you're trying to fight. Use that ability, and it will be able to understand you. And then you'll be able to use this. Because again, as no action, your persuasion against the insight, the creature must be able to hear you if you succeed. This is what we care about. If you succeed, and the creature is hostile to you, and has this disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets other than you, and can't make opportunity attacks against creatures other than you. This effect lasts for 1 minute. Basically, they can attack your allies, but they have a disadvantage, which is good because disadvantage will at least let your allies have another chance. Or if you succeed and the creature isn't hostile to you, it is chumped for a minute. Basically, Projekt Melody chumps everyone. Everyone. Unless it's immune to chump. But we don't care about if it's immune to chump. Because if it's immune, your only hope is persuading it. That's all I'm going to say. But yes, Projekt Melody, if we go down the swashbuckler route, you'll have decent enough initiative rolls. Your sneak attack will also have no way to be used. And even though it would use 2 actions, and we're not a fighter, so we can't do action surge, we'd have to wait until our next action to do so. But even as an action, so even though it's 2 actions, we can still, if we don't charm it, we at least give it disadvantage against our allies, and they can't do where is it? They can't do opportunity attacks against our allies. And this is for 1 minute. So for 10 rounds, yes, 10 rounds. For 10 rounds, the creature that you're attacking can only hit you without disadvantage and can only do opportunity attacks against you, period. Which means your allies can move in and then move out, and it won't cause them harm, which is good. This way we can be team player. We can do inquisitive too. If you do this way, this is a lower version of the where is it? That is basically a lower version of reliable talent, and only for insight. What we can do, also at third level though, is bonus action, perception check to spot hidden creatures or objects, or make an investigation check to uncover or decipher clues. That no longer requires an action to do. We can use that as a bonus action, which is pretty nice considering that, there is a hidden creature somewhere. If you want to attack it, you have to do perception, and that will cost you your action. Not anymore. It will cost you your bonus action, and then you can still attack it if you want to. We're going to skip this for a minute, because here, Study Eye, you have advantage on any perception or investigation check if you move no more than half your speed on the same turn. If you don't know what advantage does on those checks, it gives you a bonus. Not only do you have advantage on it, so you get to roll your dice again. Where is it? Game roll. Advantage. Okay, here we go. Is it here? No. Here. Using ability score, here we go. Passive checks. Right here, specifically, under perception of passive checks. If the character has advantage on a check, add +5. For disadvantage, subtract 5. This is specifically for for a passive check. So like your passive perception, without rolling the dice, your passive perception. That's what it is. So whatever your perception is, add 5 onto that. It won't do it automatically. You have to remember you have advantage on it, and you get +5. And even if you get disadvantage, it's just going to be normal. So that's why Inquisitive would be good for this too. It gives you that perception and investigation check stuff. The last option is Assassin. All the rogue stuff is meant for this build is meant to help you fight. There is other stuff in here that will, like, buff your perception, or buff your charm. But all this stuff in here, all this stuff over here for rogue is basically to help you fight. We have the bones of charisma stuff, and Melody being sweet and nice and persuasive. but we don't have anything for D&D where we can fight. That's why we have Rogue. Now, depending on how you want to play, this is completely up to you, which one of these you do. I would do, personally, either Swashbuckler or Inquisitive. But Assassin, you have advantage on attack rolls against creatures who hasn't had attack that combat yet. Attack who hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a crit, which means double damage. Oh, your weapon does 2d8? Boom. Oh, boom. 4d8. Oh, what? You have, I don't know, a gun that does, this is the anti-material stat, but antimatter rifle stat, but if you have the antimatter rifle that does, I don't know what it was, 6d8, boom, double that. It goes to 12d8 necrotic damage. So, you might want to do Assassinate if you want double damage. There's also, where is it? One of these, I forget which one. Allows you to use your sneak attack. Sneak. Inquisitive, there you go, yeah. Inquisitive right here. As a bonus action, you can make a insight check against a creature that is incapacitated, contested by their perception. If you succeed, you can use your sneak attack against that creature, even if you don't have advantage on that roll, but not if you have disadvantage. This benefit lasts for 1 minute, or until you successfully use this feature against a different target. Now, I can't say anything about this, but from how it's written in here, once you use this ability, you have sneak attack on them for 1 whole minute. We are 11-11, a level 11 rogue, which means we have 6d6 damage. Or extra damage, you could say. So, 6 times 3, because 3 is the average of a d6, 18 damage. You have a consecutive 18 damage there, as long as you can hit your insight check. So depending on what you want to do, will change how you play the rogue aspect of this. That part is completely up to you. I will choose insight, expertise for insight, and expertise for investigation. Our insight will be pretty good. Not as good as your charisma stats, but pretty good still. Now for the fun part. Abilities. How will you do this is completely up to you. Standard array, manual/rolled, or point buy. A lot of D&D sessions I've been in say they prefer standard array or point buy because rolled is just too random. You can get a 3 or you can get an 18. It's completely up to your dice. Point buy in standard array gives you a lot more versatility. if you want to do point buy, you can get multiple 15s. You can have 2 15s. 3 15s, sorry. You can have 3 15s and just dump every stat. I do not recommend that, though. That completely tanks the score. If you do anything, if you don't want to do rolled, do standard array. That way, you at least have control over a lot of your stats. Strength is a dump stat. We don't care about strength right now. Because strength for us isn't going to do much. We're going to be rolling finesse weapons for a rogue. If we want that sneak attack, it has to be a finesse or a range weapon. We can't do anything else with that. Beyond that, I'm going to move my avatar back down here. Oh. Beyond this, we could do, what was it again? We could do the rolled, but like I said, that's going to be really random. If you want to take your chances, I say totally do rolled, because there is a possibility of getting an 18 somewhere. And having an 18 in any of these stats is really good. Let's do an example. What I do is I roll. You see, this is the thing about rolled. You could get decent stats. You could get stats above what you can, or you can get worse stats. These stats overall are pretty good. You start out with like 16, which you can't do, but you average around other things like this. What I do is I'll roll these, see the lowest one, an 11, re-roll that 11. You have a better number now. Don't put this in anything. I usually do 1 free roll, that's it. And out of what you rolled, so that 13, 12, 16, 15, 11, and 14, what I usually do is see that 16, I'm like, I really want 18 in here. Typically, you're not allowed to do this, but in my campaigns, for my DM allows it, and I allow it. Talk to your DM, see what they do, see if they allow it. But what I typically do is I see that 16 over here, 16, and then take that 12, turn it down to a 10. You have an 18 in here, and then a 10 in here. So essentially, this is going to go to your charisma. This is going to your strength. But we separate out like this. That 4. $15 goes over here, and 11 goes over here. We have these stats now. The reason why I like to do rolled is because my charisma is a +2. What's this? A 20. Level 1, we have a 20 for charisma. That's why I like to do rolled. That's why other people don't like to do rolled. because you can get random stats. Now back over to the class. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 ability score improvements. I would suggest, depending on what you picked for your role, your rogue subclass, put it either in for Dex, Con, or Wisdom. I picked Inquisitive, which is good for the perception stuff, but not good for the initiative stuff. If you picked Swashbuckler, you'll have great initiative, but not good passive perception. It's all up to you how you want to play. Let's say, for my build, I will do. What do I have? I have max charisma. I want max wisdom, and I want a higher dex. My con is good right now. My intelligence could be higher though. What we're going to do is we'll work on wisdom, then work on dex and con together. Go over here. Score. Wisdom. And wisdom. That'll bring us up to a 19. We want a 20. So over here, what I will do is I won't do ability skill improvement. I'll do feat. Now for the feat, choose something that will give you wisdom. This can be, I have a lot of these, but essentially, anything that will give you a wisdom improvement, I don't think this actually gives you a wisdom, that gives you a con. But like a lot of the ritual caster stuff will give you spells. If you're not familiar with how D&D works, ritual caster will give you spells. I prefer like skilled. It wasn't skilled. It was, I forget which one it actually is. It's another skill thing. Not prodigy, but where is it? Like Fey touched, that will give you intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. You learn Messy Step, which isn't bad for this class. But we aren't a spellcaster, so we don't really have any way to buff this up. But we get Misstep and one more. This can be up to you. I would say, where is it? Hex would be good for you. Hunter's Mark would be good for you, but we already get that from the Ranger. It would free up a spell slot though. Command though. Command is really good. If you do it right, you can break an entire campaign. Command is what you want. And for over here, physical improvement. Yeah, we can't choose wisdom. We succeeded in choosing and finishing that wisdom. We want Dex and Con now to be up as high as we can go. So, with our last one, Dex and Con. And actually, for the level 4 one, I'm going to change this to Observant. Observant still helps us, and we get a +5 to our passive perception and passive investigation. This is good because once you see our score, We also want a background. Background can be whatever you want. I would say faceless. But you can do what you want. The Astral Drifter gives you tough. You get relation +1. Other one that you want. You get spells. Oh no, this is the wrong one. I was thinking of the wrong one. Where is it? The one that we want. Wild Spacer? Yeah, we want a Wild Spacer. Athletics, survival, navigates towards vehicle space. You probably won't do this in your campaign. It's a wasted proficiency, but if for some reason you have it, good on you. Reason why we take this one if you want it is tough. It gives you more hit points, which means harder to kill. Let's roll first. We have 11 d8s, another 6 for d8s, so that would bring us up to 17. 17. God. 17 d8s. And 10 for d10, we want 3. Or what you could actually do is go here, take one of these d8s, and drop it. So we have 98. Like one of which is probably 1. And add 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 205, which is pretty good. Total fix is 206. I would say if you just want like a good enough, if we made this character all the way up to level 12, so I mean level 20, so we didn't get to roll for each level. But I would say 206 is pretty good, or anywhere from 206 to 230 would be good for your XP. Doesn't really matter. Let's just do 222 for fun. And then we have Wild Spacer. It's up to you on what you want to do for this. For your background, it gives very little input for this build. So do something that you think would help the build in your campaign. Or if you like to min-max, choose a min-max thing. Go here, choose out equipment, short sword, short bow, because we are pretty good with bows. Packs, up to you. I say burglar for dungeon or expertise, explorers. I mean, I'll go explorers. Settlers. Have all that. What's next? This is how the build comes together. Load. Here we go. We have a 32 passive perception. Not to mention, for our race thing, class thing, 30i. Advantage on perception or investigation you make if you move no more than half your speed in the same turn. Which means this number, that 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, becomes a 22. Which means you have the same number as here. With reliable talent. That 7 goes up to a 10. You roll a 27. With this, add the 5. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32. Boom. Say you want to try to, let's see. What would Projekt Melody do? Try to probably seduce a god. What does the DM say? Roll persuasion. Persuasion. You have a 22 in that. You rolled a 19. Rival talent doesn't take into effect, but you roll a 19 plus the 22, 41. You get a 41. Now we can get this up higher with feats and magic stuff, but it's already really good. I have been able to get it up to but the thing with this build is our armor class and initiative isn't good. But we do have armor. That brings it up by 1. Still not good. We have the HP to compensate for our low AC. We also have short bow. There we go. Our short bow has a plus 10 to hit, a D6 plus a D2. I mean, a D6 plus 2. Pretty decent damage too, especially if you get sneak attack, because that is right here. Excuse me, sneak attack. We also have dreadful strikes from our ranger and favorite foe. I will put this down in the description so you guys can see how to play this. Well, not how to play this. I will put this down in the description for you guys to take a look at it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. But thank you for joining. Have a lovely day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Have a lovely time. And goodbye.